Hi, this is going to be a tutorial on how to get into this game called Your Only Move is Hustle. I'm going to go over the basic user interface elements and kind of what everything does and a few tips going forward for you to get started. Sorry, the cats are going crazy. It's Anakin. Can you hear him? Anyways, so I'm going to just pick two of the same character for simplicity's sake, and it's also my favorite character. So we're going to spawn in here. This is how the game starts. There's a bunch of stuff on the screen. It looks really confusing, I know. But I'm just going to go over everything one at a time, and it'll make more sense as I go. So, of course, it's a fighting game. So, health bar, pretty standard. You hit them, the health bar goes down. Everyone knows that. Air options, what that is you get a jump, right? Like, your character can jump. And depending on how many circles you see here, that's how many movement options you have in the air. So if I choose air dash here, I press that, it goes away. If I do jump, I can basically double jump, but now I don't have any more options. And once you run out of options, you don't have any more ways to keep building, I guess, height, because you don't have this air dash or the jump anymore. So your options from here are to basically keep trying to attack, or you have these. You can either fall at a normal arc, or you can fall down really fast if you want to get down to the ground faster. So that's basically, that covers what air options are. Free cancels, I'll get into that in a bit, as well with this meter and this one, because these kind of coincide with what you're doing down here. So this is basic stuff. This is the timer. Neutral just means that no one is fighting, no one is attacking anybody right now. So if I do this, now it says like, oh, this guy's in a combo right now. The arrow will point to that guy, and then of course if it's the other way around, the other guy gets a hit. Now it's pointed at him. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna also skip over this for now because this is a little more advanced. We're gonna start just moving in from the middle and then moving outward. So of course movement, dash forward, self-explanatory, dash back. You got your jump. You can just do nothing. That's what weight is. You can super dash, which is a lot farther than your normal dash, so you can catch up to that. Super jump, which is a lot more forward momentum than normal jump. Just takes a little longer for it to start up, you know. We'll go back. Okay, so that basically covers the movement. You can use your movement to jump in the air, to try to avoid attacks. You can use the air dash. Most characters have an air dash to control where you're going in the air as well, help you set up for combos easier. Also come back down to the ground safely like that if you wish. So we're gonna move on to attacks now. Every character kind of has a quick one, a grab. Usually grabs they have that little icon, and then all of these will vary depending on the character. But for now, keep in mind when you see attacks how fast they are. So it says 4, right? So 4 frames fast. Basically, you see this number, and that corresponds with how fast the move is. So of course, if I'm gonna put them really close together real quick. So we're gonna do, both of them are like kissing right now. Boom, taking smooches. So if this guy does a punch, it's a number 4, so that's a smaller number than, let's say, the drop kick, which is 11. So that's gonna beat it out every time. But if I do the punch, see that no one gets hurt because the punches clash, or like let's say I do both the nunchucks. Okay, that is really weird. But if I do this, there we go, it clashes. So when you're attacking, just keep in mind the distance, and usually when you're closer, you want to go for quicker moves, or your quickest move is usually the grab. But if both of you grab, then of course you guys both just go flank that way. Let me go back real quick. We're gonna go to the special moves now. So this is also character dependent. Ninja has a bunch of like ninja stuff. Of course, he's got the shuriken. He's got the cool ninja grappling hook. He's got a jumping bomb he can do. I just do that. Yeah, he puts a bomb on you. He's got a lot of stuff like he can like summon shadow clones like that can do different stuff depending on what you click. And all of this is really just like, you don't really have to learn how to play any of the characters. You can kind of just sift through these as the match goes on and see, oh, what option do I want to go for, you know? So that kind of covers it for special moves. You'll see some of these moves have a little green thingy on them. So what we're going to do is we're going to make both of them slide kick right here, which makes them both clash. No one takes any damage. And then I'm going to make them both punch, which is 4 frames, right? So if they were to both punch, it would clash. No one will get hurt. But let's say this guy uses uppercut, which is also 4 frames. But you see in the little like preview there, he still gets hit. Why is that? Because some moves have special properties. Like in this case, uppercut, for like the beginning of the move, the character that's doing the uppercut is actually invincible. So that's kind of like one of Ninja's ways of getting people off of him. It's a good defensive tool. It's also good for like kind of trying to swat people out of the air if they're diving in on them. Other moves have a different kind of form of initiative. Like you see if I use any of these, that doesn't really work, but backsway also kind of has the same deal where he can just move out of the way, not get hit. So that's kind of what green does. Or that's what the green arrow means. There's ones with orange lines on them called like guard breaks. So that's basically if they try to block it. What guard break does. These are 2 moves that have guard break on them, but you can kind of infer from what it says, what it does. So if they try to block, it will break through. So let's say I'm going to set up a situation where blue guy misses the nunchuck. So he goes for this chuck jump to try to jump into him, maybe catch him trying to like attack back or something, right? Let's say this guy tries to opt for a block instead. Like he thinks you're gonna do like this move or something. He thinks you're gonna try to do something else. Do that. As you can see in the preview, he's blocking, but he still gets hit. Unless so boom, that he gets hit, you get a combo. So you get a combo starter. So you can use guard break as a way to try to crack someone open if they're expecting a different move from you and they try to defend from that, but instead you do something else. So yeah, that's what guard break does. So we're gonna move on. There's these 2 sliders down here. One of them is free cancel. This kind of explains what this does up here. So if I hold on to that, uses 1 charge of free cancel, allows you to freely cancel your melee attack on the opponent's turn. Why that's helpful, I'll show you right now. So let's say you start off and the guy backs up and you want to do like, you want to do like this slide kick or something. But you're not sure if he's going to do a move as he backs up, like if he's going to hit you or not. So let's just do a little free cancel thing. Notice, even though he's kicking, he still has all his options. I could back up if I wanted to get away. Like if he wanted to try to hit me back, I'm out of the way. But that would be different if we didn't use free cancel. So if I do the same slide kick and make him walk back, notice how there's a red number now. It says -6. So now there's no options here. There's just this thing called whiff cancel. And now the other character has 6 frames. So you could look for the number 6 or less, and that move will connect. So none of these will. See how he turns green before? That means he can act. I'll get into that blue sparky thing later. But basically, you see that red thing? That means they can attack you back. And now red gets a combo. He gets to start beating you up. So that's the importance of free cancels. It's kind of a way for you to use an attack, but not face the consequences of it missing, more or less. For the cost of one of the, I guess, the resources, it's a way for you to not commit entirely to an option, and it keeps you safer. Moving on from there, I guess I'll move into blocking again, that blue spark we saw earlier. So what I did was It's called a parry. So if you are able to guess exactly what move they're gonna do, you get rewarded immensely. So let's say I think this red guy is gonna start out with a nunchuck. Let's just pretend this is a match online. I block, and then I set it to the exact timing it's gonna hit me at. Let's do this one instead. How about that? So I set it. The sliding kick is a low. So I think, oh, he's gonna do sliding kick, and it takes this many frames to hit. This big blue spark pops out, and then if you saw before, if I go back real quick, put this to 7. Now you get plus 10. So you have 10 frames to use to hit him with something, basically. So any of these moves that are, except for some moves are funky like this, but any of these moves, 10 F or less, are guaranteed to hit. And then you get a combo. So this kind of segues nicely into what I want to show next, which is, what the heck is burst? I totally glossed over this. I didn't say anything about it. So let's say you're this red guy, right? You're getting comboed. This hurts a lot. Owie. You're getting smacked. This guy's doing a lot of damage. You don't want to get hit by this next hit, right? As you're getting comboed, you notice their only option is this blue looking thing. It's called burst. If you click that, it's going to use up this blue meter that says burst, and it's going to do this. It pushes them away, and now you guys are back to neutral. So neither of you are getting comboed, and you have to work your way in again. That's one definitive way to get out of a combo, right? But of course, that'd be kind of dumb if you could just do that for free, right? Why did my music turn off? What the heck? Okay, I realized no more music because Jen's listening to music in the car. So, if I wanted to continue this combo, right? I could do something like this, and then I keep hitting them. Okay, but if I know they're gonna burst, this is where parry comes in, what I was talking about earlier. If you know they're gonna burst, red guy, you can actually block the burst. You can parry the burst. So at any point, if you think they're gonna parry, if you're starting a combo or during a combo, now they basically ran out of definitive options to stop you from continuing your combo. Now you can keep going, you can keep doing more damage. So yeah, that's kind of the mind game of defense when they have burst is, can I continue my combo or are they going to burst? That's what you're going to want to look out for if you're doing the combo, or if you're on the receiving end and you kind of want them to keep second guessing their offense, thinking you're going to burst or not. So let's say like they think you're going to burst, he just blocks because he thinks you're going to do it. And now he doesn't have enough time to basically get back and keep the combo going. Let's say you don't have burst, right? So let's go back to him getting comboed. Let's do this parry. So there's no more burst meter. Like, so does that mean they just gotta, like, you just have to eat it now, or are you screwed? Like, is that it for you? Thankfully not. So that's where this thing comes into play, this little wheel. This is DI, stands for directional influence. So let's say I'm gonna do the sweep real quick. If we hit them with the sweep, depending on what, yeah, so here you can hover over and it'll show you like a little description. Use this to change your knockback direction next time you're hit. And as the combo gets longer and longer, this is gonna fling you farther and farther away. So the wall's right here. So what I would do probably is I don't want to go into the air because you see it gives them way more advantage to follow up the combo. So I want to push it away from the wall and towards the ground so that I fall onto the ground, and that kind of runs out of options to hit me, or has to use meter to keep the combo going, you know? So yes, when you're out of burst, or even if you just don't want to spend burst, a good way to try and make the combo harder for them to follow up on is by mixing up where you're gonna go. with the DI little slider here, because now he has to try to keep the combo going while you're flying all the way over here. He has to spend meter to catch up to you. That's your second option for trying to, I guess, keep yourself alive when you're getting comboed like that. Because now it's getting really hard for me to try to follow up here. I have to use another. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry if that was loud. But yeah, now I have to use more meter to try to catch up, and I'm running out of options here. I'd have to use like this, and then I'd have to keep going. But yeah, that you use DI to make it harder and harder for them to keep the combo going, and you can push it in different directions, try to mix it up so that you don't go where they're expecting you to. So like if you do this, they expect you to keep DIing upward like that, and they could just keep using quick slashes to go. But if you do this, like now they're just like, oh, what do I do now? Like nothing, like this will hit, but if you do this, now they're out of options. They can't really do anything to you. So that's how you can use DI. There's one final option I want to go over, which also uses the burst meter. I'm just going to start a new game real quick. That's faster than me pressing undo a trillion times. When you hit, there's this thing called... Okay, so I have it set up here where if he does the uppercut, he's going to trade favorably with the other guy. You can basically use whiff cancel as a last resort, like this. So now he's got a few more options. None of these actually beat him. This one just kind of pushes him out of the way. But now he can use his whiff cancel to throw him out of that uppercut. So that's what whiff cancel does. So some final tips I would give are to the best of your ability, try to use movement to bob and weave out of the way of your opponent's attacks and coax your opponent into trying to do a move that they don't anticipate you doing, like using that to like hit him out of the air, stuff like that. And then also when it comes to combos, I would recommend doing all of your most damaging moves first. And why we do this is because the longer a combo goes on, each individual's hit are going to start doing less damage. And that's why you want to do your most damaging moves right away, because you want to get the most value you can as soon as possible out of those heavy hitting moves. Like I did chuck jump like a couple times at this point, and each time it's starting to do less and less damage if you look at that. Another tip I have for combos is try to keep them as close to the ground as possible at first, because you have more options on the ground at your disposal than in the air. Because if I land here, boom, now I have all my moves still. Whereas in the air, I only have access to like all of my different, just the air moves. So I'll just do a little combo example. I won't set him to DI or anything. I'll just kind of do, just kind of try to freestyle a ninja combo. Yeah, so now that he's getting flung in the air, I want to start following him. Usually a tip that I have is you want, wherever they're going, you want to be just a little bit up and diagonal of them, because that makes it easier to connect all of your different moves in the way you want them to. So like we can do another chuck jump, we can do that. We can dive kick them down, throw a shuriken as they're falling. Like this game is so cool for this aspect. Like you have so much control over what you want to do combo wise. Do that to bring them back down to the ground. Do a nunchuck. We can chuck jump again. See, I don't want to land behind him because then it pushes him that way. I don't want that to happen, so I want to push. Yeah, keep bringing him to the corner like that. You kind of get the gist. Like, keep them close to the ground so you have more options to, like, keep the combo going, basically. Do that. Do this. He gets, let's see, what gives me the most advantage here? Oh, probably that. Yeah, that does 40. We'll do back sway. Do that. And now that kind of ends the combo. So that was like a bunch of damage. And I did all that trying to stay as close as I could. to the ground. So if I go into the replay real quick, you can kind of see the combo in motion in real time. Yeah. Another tip I have is you can go through you can go through your moves, of course, but also do your best to go through their moves as well. So what you're gonna want to do is to find out what you can do in the moment that will beat most of their options. So as it's kind of weird to think about since it's the same character, but it just kind of comes down to reading the other opponent. That's a big part of this game. Seeing what will work. So like if you think they're gonna do slide kick, you can like jump in the air to avoid it if you want. Stuff like that. Like there's layers and layers of you kind of trying to get in their head, them trying to get in your head. But just typically plan out what you're gonna do as if you're trying to find what will give you the best odds of succeeding, more or less. And of course, there's different characters in this game, so you're gonna be playing against a lot of characters for the first time. So just do your best to look through, see what they can do in accordance to reacting to you. Like if I do this, like this is a whole different move list. Whoa, there's all these different moves now. He can do that. He's got a little missile he can shoot. There's just a lot of make sure to kind of go through, see what they can do in retaliation to what you're doing, and you'll do fine. Of course, if you get once you get more used to fighting specific characters, this is gonna be more like, oh, I see this move in this situation a lot. I'm gonna parry this. That's pretty much it. There's not much else I can kind of give the basics towards. The rest is just kind of playing, having fun with the game, and just figuring out what works for you, seeing like a play style you like, and just having fun with how cool it is to do combos in this game, because you just basically get to make it all up on the spot. I think that's really interesting, and it takes away a lot of the I guess the mental stack of like traditional games where you have to learn it, and it's very set in stone. Like there's these specific pathways you have to take, but in this game it's a lot more freeform. You have to look what the other person is doing, and you have to react and adjust accordingly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you have fun, whoever's watching this, and hopefully this helped.